Hello, friends, fans, and followers from beyond time and space borders. I am here once again with you for a live presentation um, about a subject that is very popular in modern culture, and I thought I would give my take on it. In fact, I just finished writing a piece on it that I will include in the guides that I give to my clients. But I thought this is such a wide-ranging and all-encompassing subject in today's world and society that it's not only my clients who'd benefit from hearing my take on it, but really everyone. So I thank you for tuning in and for the people who are choosing to watch the replay once they get a chance. So you bear with me for a few seconds here. I'm going to share it. Make sure that the people who are interested in seeing this will get a chance to see it and tune in live so that they get also the opportunity to have their questions answered. Let me see here. Okay, we are live. Perfect. And doing it on Wednesday, Odin's day, who is Mercury, Mercredi. Mercury's day is certainly going to be I would say a challenge. So it's going to be interesting to see how its influence over technology and communication in general is going to influence even this live. Case in point. So let us see here. Okay, this one. Yep. And I show it to the group. Hey Rose. Hey Rose Marie, nice to see you. Let okay. Boom. There you go. Alright. Sharing this to the group here. Hey guys, say hi when you join in. It's nice to see people tuning in already. Good to see you, Roz. I'm gonna reach out to you after this live. Hopefully I'll have time, have something to tell you, which is very important. In here. Okay. It's not really super duper fast today. No surprise there. Shared. And you guys are welcome to share it to your friends, to people you think might be interested in this. This is very important. I'm telling you, this is very important. Everyone's talking about it all the time. It's kind of like a buzzword nowadays. Okay, so this is good. All right, so let's get started. I don't want to keep you guys waiting. Oh, okay. Perfect. All right. So, as I was saying, I wrote a piece about Mercury retrograde. We hear about it all the time, as I said earlier. Mercury retrograde this, Mercury retrograde that. We're blaming it for everything and anything. Mercury is getting a lot of slack these times. So, me, I'm not the guy who's like looking at the stars, looking at transits, and this is gonna happen, making predictions about the future. I mean, for me as a Muslim, that's shirk. Okay, so anything that goes about predicting the future, I mean, you might, it's hit and miss. Okay, but it's really for us, it's forbidden to do so. However, I've been involved in the field of occultism, magic, spirituality for a few years now, and doing so professionally. There are a few patterns that I have observed. And the thing is, it's around this time that, I get more messages than usual. People are reaching out to me, they're stressed out. Either about the work that I delivered for them, that I fulfilled and then made for them, crafted for them, whatever the case may be, or the work that they do themselves. Okay. And I wasn't enough. Like I knew, like, okay, this time's coming around, but I had to confirm it with other people. So, first of all, okay, Mercury retrograde is not responsible for all your troubles and worries in the world. However, because we live in a hyper-connected world, we live in a world that is ruled by technology, and because Mercury is directly related to technology, you are going to run into some problems. Okay, there's no way to escape that. And I'm not going to go through all the influences and all the rulership of everything that, it bears control over or whatever, but I'm going to go into what is relevant and important to us, important for me in my practice, and important to my clients who work with me. At the end of the day, making this live to answer their questions, but it's not only to their benefit, but it's also to your benefit who's tuning in. So if you look at the date, Mercury retrograde officially ended yesterday, okay? But there is what is called a retrograde period that starts 4 weeks before or 4 weeks after. There's always debate. Is it 2 weeks? Is it 4 weeks? Because what is Mercury retrograde? It's not like Mercury is like, retrograding its speed and going back reverse. I've explained this quite some time back, but I'm going to explain it again. It's like a car that is moving, right? And it slows down. And a car, if it's doing 100 miles an hour, wants to slow down to 80, is going to do 100, 99, 98, 97. So there's a period in which it is slowing down until it hits 80. But again, it's not like it stops moving. It's still advancing through the air. But if you are still doing 100, let's say the Earth, you will see it that if you are moving, as if you are moving faster, right? As it's retrograding, is actually speeding down, is going backwards. That is the perception of a retrograde. Like it's going backwards, but it's not. It's still moving, not at the same speed as it was before. And since it is the fastest planet in our orbit, one of the closest to us, it's really visible, basically. Okay. Now, here's the thing. People are going mental. They're going mental, and it's not just magically, it's professionally, it's personally. You might have more trouble communicating with your partner. You might be more worried and stressed out than usual. Everyone is on edge. I mean, if you look, no one puts their blinkers, the flashing light on their car when it's Mercury retrograde. But like I told you, this period is not just the 3 official weeks. Some people say it's 2 weeks before and after. Some people say 4 weeks before and after. But this specific one is very interesting, okay? Very, very interesting because something major happened. I mean, some people, they don't believe in the stars' influence and the planet's influence, the heavenly spheres' influence over our lowly world. Whereas in occultism, we know that this world is a reflection of what's above, so below. And it's not just something that is new age. This is something that has been well known in ancient civilizations and knowledge that has been transmitted to the wise masters of Greece, of, ancient Egypt, Babylon, and also the Arabic medieval occultists. But this one, like I told you, is very, very interesting because there's a casing point. There is evidence in the real world that people cannot ignore. So, by the way, sometimes you'll see me reading because I wrote this and I'm going to include it in the guide. So if you're someone who has worked with me ever and you're interested in getting this, just hit me up and I'm going to share with you the new edition of the guide that this will include. So let me just read this because I want to make sure that I communicate this properly to you. In today's materialistic society, there is a debate and skepticism around any subject and concept. Some don't believe that the planets and stars have any effect on us whatsoever. Many place the retrograde shadow periods before and after Mercury retrograde at 2 or 4 weeks. However, let me give you an example to illustrate my point. There was a retrograde period officially dated from the 4th of August to the 27th. What day are we today? The 28th. So that is yesterday. Okay, that is yesterday that it officially ended. So now we are entering in the retrograde period, post the retrograde. Now, on July 19th, remember this, guys? A little bit more than a month ago. Do you remember what happened on July 19th? Can someone tell me what happened in the comments, please? I'm going to go over because I want to make sure that this presentation is as concise and as short as possible. Okay, so I'm going to go over the material and I'm going to give you guys 15 minutes at the end to ask your questions. But I still, I need some interactions here, some hearts, some likes. And I just asked a question. What happened on July 19th? Anyone? Thank you for saying hi, guys. I don't mean to be rude. I just, like I told you, I need to do this within 45 minutes, if possible, to not go on for forever. July 19th, exactly 20 days. So this is more than 2 weeks before. Okay, as we said, people are arguing, is it 2 or 4 weeks? This is more than 2 weeks, actually about 3 weeks in. July 19th, exactly 20 days before the retrograde, one of the biggest, right? If not the largest computer crash in history occurred. You remember this? That was pandemonium. It was people were going nuts. They were like, "What is this gonna end? It's gonna take many days to recover. This is not gonna go back to normal." People were going crazy. Okay, imagine you were stuck at the airport on that day. It was nuts. It was nuts. You see, they call it the blue screen of death. Can you imagine that? You're in an airport. You're looking to check in. You're stressed out if your luggage is overweight, and then they're like, blue screen of death. I don't know. Anyways, so this left millions of people stranded in airports all over the world. It also disrupted banking and many commercial activities in different sectors. I know I can log into my online banking that day or do any transactions. They're like, hey, we're doing some maintenance. We're trying our best, bear with us. Now, to the materialistic observer, all this has a normal explanation, a faulty update. Someone didn't do what he was supposed to do. He released or she released an update that it wasn't up to par. I don't know. I'm not an IT specialist. Okay. But here's the thing. People are like, okay, faulty update. We know the reason. That's it. Case closed, right? The company responsible for this disruption, CrowdStrike, is not well known. I mean, I'll be honest. I've never heard of CrowdStrike in my life before that day, right? But it boasts a large client list of some of the biggest and greatest corporations and some of the most important governmental bodies worldwide. These institutions trusted with their cybersecurity and depend on it because of its reliability. So they're not the type of people who are going to give you some screwed up, messed up update. Okay, they're the type of people that companies rely on, airline companies, hospitals, whatever the case may be. They're all over the place. I never heard of them, but it's one of those. Those institutions, knowing that Mercury rules technology, travel, and commerce, the fact that the sectors being most affected by this technological glitch are aviation and banking. Seeing a pattern there? Adding to the fact that the retrograde period starts 4 weeks prior to the official start date of the retrograde. So we got that out of the way. It's not 2 weeks, it's 4 weeks, guys. Okay, so 4 weeks slowing down, 3 weeks slow, 4 weeks getting back up to speed again. Today is the first day that it's getting back up to its normal speed again. The dots are easily linked by the discerning observer. So again, at the beginning, we were talking about the materialistic observers, like faulty update, nothing we could do. One of the biggest crashes in the world, some people call it the crash of the century. And there was, a few crashes before. I'm not talking about a stock market crash. I'm talking about a bug, like an IT bug, right? So that's why. Now you know. Now you know. It's not like, oh, do the planets influence us? If, no, it's really how the planets influence us. And these people are not involved in magic. I mean, we know the elites are really deeply into occultism. That's a given. But I'm talking about everyday regular people working their jobs, showing up to work, checking in people, healing people, giving them healthcare services, providing them, the bank teller at the bank who's just trying to get you some money out of your account to help you pay your bills. Those people are also affected. And that is the beautiful thing about the truth. As I always say, the truth is beautiful because you don't need to believe in it in order for it to be true. Okay? So this is the example that illustrates Mercury retrograde. All right. But as I told you, I get more messages. Oh, Retta, I don't feel the spirits with me anymore. Retta, oh, I've done a wealth pact. Everything was going great, and then now money is tighter, and I don't see any results, and I see a lot of blockages. Retta this, Retta that. So I'm like, okay, is it just me, or this is a thing? So I reach out to other professionals, people that actually trust their opinion. Like they're not just gonna say they're not the type of people who are just gonna give you excuses. Because a lot of people in this field, they're gonna give you excuses. They're gonna tell you, oh, the stars are not aligned, so you get the result, and you have to have faith in whatever the case may be. And they're like, no, it's a crazy period. It's a crazy period. I knew that the 3 weeks was a crazy period, but now with that major event, July 19th happened, we know that the retro shade 4 weeks before, 4 weeks after is also cause for concern. But concern is not like, oh my God, this happens 3 times, I think, a year. And that's why, Mercury is called the great trickster. It's the trickster planet. Goes up, it's the one that retrogrades the most, and it's the fastest, and it's linked to so many things that can play tricks on you. It rules, first of all, it rules hard work, because hard work is a left brain kind of thing. It's a concrete mind, right? Like, I want to work hard, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Industriousness. It rules that. It rules the intellect. So anything that is related to mathematics, anything that is related to logical reasoning, anything that is related to perception, information analysis, learning, all these things are going to get affected, because people are just like, oh, take this period as self-reflection and, meditate and think and journal and this and that. Like, come on. That's not going to do anything. That's not going to make it go direct. You know what I mean? You know how I feel about the new age stuff. You know how I feel about it. Travel, again. So travel, you want to be careful. Like when you're driving on the highway, people are, it's really like you gotta double check your angles. Okay, you gotta double check everything twice. And by the way, guys, I know that you know some people who are into astrology, into astronomy, and how it influences people. So you can share it with them. Feel free. Okay, let's share the love. Let's share the knowledge. Let's share the value and commerce. So okay, right, I don't care. I'm a 9 to 5 employee. I'm a cog in a wheel in a big company. No one cares about me. I'm not engaged into any kind of commercial activity. Well, at the end of the day, if you're showing up to work, okay, you're trading your time, your energy for money. That's a commercial activity. So you might have less shift. You might be cut off. There might be, if you have a side hustle, if you're freelance, forget about it, because less people are going to be reaching out to you. They're stuck in their problems. They're worried that their lives are ending. You see, why? Because it is this. It's that voice, the conscious mind, the voice, the inner dialogue that is offset. And people are like, well, you're going to have more trouble communicating. Communicating is dialogue. What about the inner monologue? So that's really the problem here, is because your concrete mind, the conscious mind, is, and I'm not talking about you specifically, I'm talking about you, me, we, us, okay? As human beings living on this lowly planet called Earth. commerce, scattered thoughts. So have you noticed within the last few weeks, you go to sleep and your mind is just going 200 miles an hour? Have you noticed that? You're trying to close your eyes, you can't sleep for the life of you. Have you noticed that? Tell me, guys, in the comments. I want to know. I want to know. Scattered thoughts all over the place. You're trying to focus. You're trying to do something. You're trying to focus on work. Anything that needs you to focus and have laser focus is not going to happen. Okay? If you are used to focusing, yes, you're still going to be able to fight against it, but not naturally. It's still going to be an uphill battle if you compare it to when that period is not happening. The other one is worries. Have you noticed as well? A lot of worry. I'm worried about this, worried about that, worried that the magic's not going to work, worried that the spirits didn't answer me, worried that the spirits are not working for me for any reason whatsoever. You see, worried that the ritual, and then also communication. So if you're reciting an invocation, if you're reciting a conjuration, if you're doing a ritual, making a petition, you might stumble on your words. You might be looking for your words. You're not sharp. You're not on it. You see? And like I told you, if you're a human being, this is going to affect you. This is going to affect you. So here, like I said, people, this is linked with worry. That's why people are noticeably on edge and their temperament is high strung. Everyone's like, don't talk to me. Nah. But the thing is, I'm going to tell you all this, and I'm going to tell you why it's important to know this, and I'm also going to give you a way to mitigate this, okay? Because I'm that kind of guy. Business is slower, money is tighter because this planet also rules commerce as a whole. Even if you're a payroll employee, this is what I said. But even if you're a civil servant, okay, same thing. People work in the government. They don't care. They're like, I'm not part of any, for-profit organization, so I don't know. It affects you as well. There are budgets. There's money circulating within the arteries of the government. It's the same thing. Okay, it's the same thing. Concrete mind. Thus, the intellect's analysis and reasoning abilities. People are going nuts. Sometimes you have to explain things to them. You have to get your message across. And I see this because I have so many interactions, from shipping to delivering packages to answering people's questions, answering their concerns, dealing with spirits. I see how this is affecting people across the board, across the board. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Okay, there's just hows. Structuring. So indeed, our intellect is not only responsible for structuring and relaying messages, but also receiving and interpreting the information it receives. So that's why communication is tough. It's because the software is messed up. Okay? It's messed up. So a lot of times, like, I'm gonna pick my battles. Some people, it's not even worth it to go into an argument or to try to get your point across or to try to communicate some important information or message. Although nowadays I'm taking a chance on Mercury's day, can you believe that? But it is what it is. Exacerbated because we live okay, in the spiritual side, see how this affect one's ability to distinguish the signs and guidance the spirits are providing with. People have trouble discerning the signs and the results and the manifestations that the spirits are bringing them on a regular basis. Okay, when no Mercury is retrograding, when all is fine and dandy in the celestial spheres. So imagine when this happens and people are worried and they're not perceiving things properly. They don't see it. They don't see it. And even if it's there, their thoughts are so scattered, they don't even have the time to process it. So that's why. That's why. Now, so these are the things. Like I told you, I'm not going to go into everything that Mercury rules over. Like, I work with magic squares, and magic squares, it's mathematics. So sometimes I'm going to have trouble with the numbers for them to click, or I'm going to make small mistakes. And as you know, in this work, you can't make mistakes. It's not like I have, whiteout and I just, kind of like, rule over it or whatever and go back. No, I have to start over. Okay. That's normal. I take it as part of the job. But I'm trying to impart on you how this is affecting your life. Okay, maybe not exactly as me, maybe not exactly as the other one next to you, but it is affecting all of you. Okay, whether you choose to see it or not. Now, People are gonna ask because a Rohani person is a middleman, is an emissary between worlds, between the human beings and the spirits. So I had to ask them, does it affect you? The answer, obviously, is absolutely. But even more than us, right? Because they're spiritual entities. They don't have bodies. Okay? So, and you're like, well, we have bodies. Why are we affected by it? Well, in, I would say, Muslim lore or cosmology, it is believed that Allah, when He was preparing to create Adam, He sent angels to gather dust from all over the world, right? Clay, earth, whatever you want to call it, from all over the world. So, because the world has been shaped by the planetary rays for millennia, we have a little bit of stardust in all of us, right? I'm sure you've seen this message circulated by New Age people. But that's basically it. That's why. That's why they rule parts of the body. They rule parts of the energetic field, of our aura, of our chakras, and so on and so forth, because they are literally parts of us. And that is why the saying goes, the human being is a microcosm of the macrocosm, right? We are a reflection not only of the earth, not only of the solar system, but of all of the cosmos. We have that. Isn't that amazing? I think so. But guys, I'm looking for your answers here. I'm looking for your answers about the question that I asked. What do you say? I need to hear your thoughts here because I want to prove that I'm not crazy, that I'm not alone in this. And it's not just the people who are spiritual practitioners. It's not just the people who are occultists or esotericists or mystics. Okay. We need to show people not only, hey, does this affect you? But how it's affecting you in the real life. It's easy to go do some gratitude and go do some self-reflection and do some shadow work and do some journaling. It's easy to say that. Whatever you have in life, people are going to tell you that. But we're here to, again, how things affect us in the real world. So people are like, okay, well, is it working? Is it not working? This and that. Me, the way that I mitigated it in my practice is I do agreements. So Mercury is retrograding or any other planet is doing something, you're still going to show up to work. That is what a binding agreement is. You signed a job offer. You signed a work contract. You're not going to call your boss and say, "Here, Mercury is retrograde. I'm not coming in, man. Sorry. See you in 3 weeks." That's not going to happen. It's not going to work. Well, you can make that same ritual, that same practical structure magically with spirits. Okay? You can do that as well. And that's what I've done. Either be it jinns or angels. Okay, so you're gonna work. You might not be at your best, right? You might not be the hardest working because, as I told you, it rules hard work. You might not be as productive, as focused as before. You might not have the best communication with your colleagues, your peers, your bosses, but you're still showing up to work and work is getting done. Okay, very important, guys. So that's why me and my problem. I'm gonna be honest with you. I used to chase um alignments, when like different planets are aligned together and like the energy gets kind of focused of all these planets at the same time. And it used to happen sometimes at impossible hours of the night or the morning. And of course I have a life, I have family to take care of. I have back in the day I used to have a regular job. So it's not until I remember this. I did this ritual. It was a 6 planet conjunction. And it was like at 3:43 a.m. where I'm located. And I did that, and my rituals last for hours. And I was nodding off on the way to work. It was dangerous. I'm not the kind of guy who's gonna, just nod off on behind the wheel. But I was nodding off. So I was like, okay, from then on, I was like, this is not gonna work for me. If you are a wise person, if you are a hermit who lives in the woods and, you don't have people who depend on you, you don't have a regular life, okay, that's all you have is like the stars and God and you and nature and the trees, maybe. But I had to find a way. And imagine me, someone hires me and I'm like, sorry, right now Mercury's retrograding, so I can't be making this for 3 weeks. Imagine how long that order list is going to be, and then I'm going to be playing catch up indefinitely because it's going to retrograde, it goes direct, and then in a few months again, it retrogrades again. So I had to find a way. So this is about me personally, and this is why people like they have nothing to worry about. I have them, I see them. There's an uptick, but like I told you, it's not just me. I thought like, hey, is it me? Is my work more inclined to planetary influences? I confirmed it with not one, not two, not three professionals. They said no, it's hell for us. It's hell for us. Everyone's going nuts. No matter what we tell them, no matter if they get results, no matter if we do divination or we do investigation or we do confirmation, doesn't matter. They're going nuts. And that's totally justifiable. It's okay to go nuts, but knowing why you're going nuts is even better, and how to properly deal with it and live through it is even amazing. Okay? And that's why I'm doing this live here for you today. So you can hit that like, hit that thumbs up, hit those hearts. Let me know if you're enjoying this, guys. If it's giving you any kind of insight, if it's giving you any kind of clarification about what's going on with you for the last few weeks. And we're not out of the woods. We are not out of the woods. Because like I told you, I'm doing this today. Okay, specifically doing this today on Wednesday, right? Mercury's day, and to see how things are gonna go for the next 4 weeks. 4 weeks. 4 weeks, as I've explained before. Now we come to a very interesting part, and this is my gift to you. Okay, this is my gift to you. If you want this gift, hit the share button, guys. In light of all of this, one might rightly ask themselves, are there ways to minimize the ill effects that this difficult period can have on one's life? The short answer is no. Okay, there's no way. There's no way. However, there is a silver lining. Having awareness allows us to recognize these influences and better deal with them as we're prepared for them. Also, here's my gift. You can pray to the creator of the heavens and earth and all that is in between to minimize this transit's ill effects on your life. Silver lining. God, the creator, the almighty creator, created you, me, the stars, the planets, the heavens, the earth, the hells, everything. Okay, everything. Can he help you during this time of distress? Of course he can. Of course he can. Okay, of course he can. But as you know, anyone who's consumed my material, thank you, Nicholas. I really much appreciate it. I have been more wrathful these days. Surprise, surprise! As I said, everyone more on edge. High strung. No patience. I ain't got time for this. Don't talk to me. It's Mercury, man. It's not your fault. It's Mercury. But not to say, oh, responsibilities on Mercury. No, we have to accept responsibility. Like I told you, I'm here to help. I'm here to help. So here's my invocation. Probably I'm going to share it in writing. Okay, probably I'm going to share it in writing, but maybe, I don't know, maybe it's better to leave it just for the people who joined live. Huh? Maybe. I'm going to read it very slowly. O Almighty Creator, O Originator, O Fashioner, it is you who created the heavens and earth and what they contain in perfect fashion. It is you who ornated them with stars and planets and set them in motion. I beseech you to dispel the ill effects of Mercury's retrograde from my life and protect me from its affliction by your grace and compassion. Amen. Okay, so I wrote this in English for you guys because, everyone speaks English nowadays. Very rarely anyone speaks Arabic. So I'm going to repeat this for you guys. Okay, so you can replay this and write it down. This works. I have shared it with the spirits. They said, good job, Retta. This is for you from here to here. O Almighty Creator, O Originator, O Fashioner, it is you who created the heavens and earth and what they contain in perfect fashion. It is you who ornated them with stars and planets and set them in motion. I beseech you to dispel the ill effects of Mercury's retrograde from my life and protect me from its affliction by your grace and compassion. Amen. So you can repeat this in the morning before starting work. At times, at night, if you are, like I told you, you're putting your head on a pillow and you can't sleep, your mind is going 100 miles an hour, okay, or 200 miles an hour. So this will bring, because as I said, by God's remembrance and invocation, your heart will be appeased. Okay, this is a scientific fact. I've talked about this on my channel, I've talked about it everywhere. It is a scientific fact. All right, invoking God will make you calmer. I don't care if you're a Christian, if you're a Jew, if you are Muslim, if you invoke the creator of the worlds, one way or the other, you will be calmer. And you do this before the day. So I recommend morning and night. People always ask me about repetitions. I'm a classical, Muhammad peace be upon him style 3 repetition kind of guy, but that depends on your spiritual practice. How diligent, how consistent what would you practice. If you like the meaning of numbers, 8 is related to Mercury. In Arabic occultism, the 8 by 8 square is Mercury square. So you can do that one, okay, 8 times in the morning and at night. And let me know. Let me know the results. Share it with me in private, public. Let me know. Um, Now, people, they're also gonna say like, hey, is there a way? I explained to you why it's affecting us. I explained to you why there's no way, because we're made of the same earth that has been shaped by these planets. There's no way around this, guys. I'm sorry. I wish there was. There is no way. Okay, and you can see it with your friends, with your romantic partners, with your peers, that you can see it. And it's not because everyone hates you. You might be worried again that everyone is against you. No, you see, everyone's not getting along with everyone else. This is a generalized thing. Generalized. Okay? So the problem here is worry. The problem here is misperception. That's what you have control over. And it also rules the nervous system. That's why you feel like tired. And all that high stress is going to make you feel more exhausted. So that's hard work gone out of the window. You see, everything is interconnected here. Everything is related and probably is improperly ordinated by the ordinator of all. But it's important, like I told you. This is not kind of like, oh, I'm going to be grateful and journal and this and that. You might use these words like, okay, but what am I really worried about? Are they founded? Are they just? See what I mean? Are they just? Am I justly worried about this? Me, it's like I reason with people. I tell them that there's no amount of reasoning, of explaining, that is gonna make them say, okay, I see, that makes sense, because they're worried. It's on a cellular level. It's on an energetic level. There's no way around it. Imagine the spirits, poor them. Alhamdulillah, like we have bodies, we're still going on with our lives. I mean, like that glitch that happened, that major computer crash proves the point, but life goes on. And I've given you something, like I told, this is not something from a book. It's not translated, as you know, all my work is proprietary. I make it, I craft it from the ground up. That invocation, I've written it for my clients, but then I decided to share it with you. Now, one thing I want to point out here is I firmly believe that we still don't have a full understanding of just how many aspects of worldly life the planets bear influence over. Personally, I'm of the opinion that all planets rule all things to varying degrees. As all body parts are interconnected, and something happening to one of them can produce an effect on another one. So as I was saying before, the worries, everything is interconnected here. Okay, and there are some things that the rulership is shared between 2 planets, such as knowledge, such as like magic. Mercury has rulership, co-rulership with the moon. And then it depends on what is happening with the other planets. There's always something, guys. There's always something. Okay? There's always something. The problem is nowadays astrology has become this new age thing that people just use it to justify their bad traits, their bad behavior, their laziness, whatever the case. It's not my fault. I got this in my chart and this is happening right now. Like, come on. Show up. Show up. Show up, grow up, and put up. Like, stop giving these One of my clients the other day, we had a consultation. He's like, well, it says that marriage is going to be difficult for me because I have this specific placement in my natal chart. I said, okay, well, we need to find only one person in the world who has that specific placement in their world chart, in their birth chart, for your reasoning to be completely false. One person. I said, we're 8 billion people on the planet. You think we can't find one person? He laughed and he said, yes, absolutely. Not only one person, if not millions. So, hence the saying, the planets tell, but they do not compel. And I think they got this from the Arabs, which is basically الكواكب تخبر ولا تجبر. It's literally that, word for word. الكواكب تخبر ولا تجبر. This is not to say that one should live their life according to the planetary ebbs and flows, but to understand the challenges they pose in modern life, accept them, keep moving forward. Verily, fortunate is the one who can seek the Almighty to alleviate all hardship through His grace and mercy. And that's it. The answer is God, guys. The answer is God, the Almighty Creator, whether we believe in Him or not. I mean, someone, a thing, a being, an entity, a super intelligence created all of this, created you and all of this. And He has given you a lot of influence too, a lot of power over your own life, a lot of power over them. Because we know that in ancient Babylon, they used to subserviate the planets. They used to make the planets work for them, you know? But this is just my take on it. Like I said, this is something that is going to be part of the guide. I'm going to share it, whether it's a covenant, whether it's a contract, whether it's a guide. If you guys have worked with me, you're welcome to, if you're interested, because I'm going to include it, get a new edition, get a new updated version. But I thought, like, people need to hear this. If you work with me or not, if you know me or not, right? Someone that you know needs to hear this. We all need to hear this. We need to tell ourselves this. But me, it's not just, oh, knowing, well, times are tough. Yeah, tough shit, Like, no, that's not me. So I wrote that invocation for you. Try it. What do you have to lose? Everything to gain. Do the comparison. The days that you try, the days that you don't try. And then, of course, if the moon is full, like right now is going down. It's like 49%. And more than 50%, everything gets exacerbated. Everything gets amplified, expanded, magnified. So if this is bad, this is going to be even worse. But this is it, again, retention, intellect, fluency, subtlety, industriousness, scattered thoughts, worries, communication challenges, the nervous system. It all checks out, guys. It all checks out. So if you're watching this right now, I want to know your thoughts. I want to know how you've been affected by this, and how even maybe you have some practical tips for us, maybe some mundane tasks, maybe some things that people can do. If you have any advice, share it. That's what we're here for. Okay? That's what we're here for. And like I said, if you want to share with someone else. Now, I think I have done a pretty good job today for not going on for hours. And I want to give you the floor, the chance to ask your questions. I'm going to do this for, I would say, 15 minutes, give or take. And then we're going to call it a day and go on about our lives to try and navigate these next 4 weeks. So I'm listening to you guys. Floor is yours. Let me go back in the comments. Hi to everyone, by the way. Usually I'm very much more interactive, but like I told you, when I do that, that's when it tends to go on and on and on. This is going to be, of course, recorded and reshared. Nicholas saying that he's been feeling more wrathful these days. I mean, look, I'm not gonna argue with you on that. I think it's a general feeling, right? People just get on your nerves more, and they get on your nerves more. So it's, do you have a YouTube channel? Yes, I do have a YouTube channel. Do good. I have something to tell you too. Yes. Rosie. Chris. Nice to see you, Chris. Always nice to see people from all over the world. She's on the other side of the globe. That is the beauty of technology. So no questions, guys. No questions, no thoughts, no final insights. that you want to share? Because, like I told you, this is going to be public and people are going to be able to see. So you can use it as a platform to share your message about Mercury retrograde. Let me know. Technology issues and some arguments with coworkers and family. Past people reaching out, like people maybe you want them to stay in the past, you know. But thankfully, I was aware, and the packs I have helped me deal with the issues, especially with the financial aspects. Strangely enough, your video keeps cutting out. Some family relationships have never been worse. All right, now we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. I had never considered this in real common life. Thank you very much. I only considered the planets when creating planetary talismans, but it seems that I have put more thought through on it. Yeah. Okay. So technology issues. Um, me like before sharing about something, I'm not just like, oh yeah, I think this is it, and I read a few blog posts and I show up on the internet. Like, I actually do the diligence and the work of noting it, comparing about it, and see what's happening, because it's all about pattern recognition. It's all about pattern recognition. So my car is a fairly recent car, good car. I mean, it's a tank. Okay, it's a German car. And then a few years back, on a Mercury retrograde, light bulb blows up. Boop. Amazing, right? Amazing. And then the other Mercury retrograde, I had the dryer go, which is like under warranty for 10 years. And yeah, just boop. It's something snapped inside of it. What else? Then a few retrogrades back, so like I told you, this is on the retrograde. So when you're talking about technology, and even now people, that's why I raised the phone in my hands. That's why people are like, my connection's cutting off. Surprise! These last few days, I mean, I've been even the phone reception's off. This one, I don't know. Probably like there's some other planets that are intensifying its effects because of what happened on July 19th. I'm not an astrologer. I'm not an astronomer, guys. Okay, car and phone broke down. Mercury is like dragging you through the mud. So, and then the dryer goes, and then my dish, and these are all like quality electronics. Like, this is not, like low grade stuff. They're all under warranty. Starts making a weird noise. And here's the funny part. Here's the funny part. The noise is like a grinding noise. It comes when Mercury's retrograding, and then when it stops, it goes away. Like, how crazy is that? Like, the electronic didn't repair itself or break itself down, but somehow, some way, anyways, really funny. I had to share that anecdote with you guys. Relationships. So again, Chris, basically the relationships it has to do with the brain's perception. It has to do with the analyzing and reasoning ability and bad communication, right? So I'm not surprised there. It could be relationships, but it also could be, like I told you, just even interactions with people on the street, strangers. Okay, perfect strangers in the street is going to be tougher. It's going to be tougher. I don't know if the connection is better, guys. Let me know. Strangely enough, yeah, now you just told me about my video. But today, like, I wanted to make it a point. Even me, like, I don't feel that my thoughts are as structured as they usually are. That things don't flow as easily and as, um, I would say, swiftly as before. But I'm here doing it. Don't care. You know, That's it. Needs to be done. That's the thing. It needs to be done, guy. Whatever needs to be, like, don't put it back. Don't listen to these BS people telling you just, take it easy and chill for three weeks. What is happening with the people who are still giving it their all? They're gonna pass you. Okay? Life is a race. It's not a sprint, but it's a marathon. You need to keep going. You need to keep going. You need to keep moving forward. Whatever life throws at you. I don't care if it's Mercury, Jupiter, or this or that. And a lot of people in the magical community, and the spiritual community, and the occultism community, they're going to use it as an excuse to not do anything. You know? So don't be one of those people. And like I told you, you have God to help, who helped you, who fashioned the heavens and earth and everything in between. He talks about it. He talks about the planets in the Quran. He talks about them. Okay? He or it or she, whatever you want to say. It's not even men or women, but consider this in real, yeah, some old bad habits came out too. I mean, that's it. And then you know, you look deeper than that, net. You look deeper than that. You're like, okay, why is this coming back? What is the my thought process for getting behind this habit? And now you're using it as a learning experience instead of an afflicting experience. And the next retrograde before it comes, you're gonna be like, hey, I know this is coming, so I solved this next retrograde. You can use it as a period of self-betterment, self-improvement, so you're getting better and better and better after each one. Do Mercury Solomonic Pentacles help with Mercury Retro? In my experience, no. The thing with Solomonic Pentacles is that, yes, they are related to the planets, but if you go, back in time, there are people who are experts about this. They're not related to the planets. The planetary correspondences came later in the Solomonic Pentacle tradition, I would say. Okay, so those pentacles for me, they are related to the versicles that they're written from. Those spirits are not from the planets. All right, they're not. They're not from the planets. They are from the versicles. And because those pentacles, because of what they do, their purposes and their intents, then they are related to the planets. You might find the same pentacle. It has no planetary association, but then again, like, the first pentacle of this or the second pentacle of that. But because of their purpose, people have then assigned planetary correspondences to them. So in my experience, no. In my experience, they can't really help. However, they can address specific issues that the pentacle is. And I'm not an expert. I'm not a Solomonic magician. Remember, I'm an Arabic magician. But they can help you, like, okay, there are some to help you do this and do that according to their purpose. Yes. So in that sense, yes, but not just saying like, hey, protect me from the ill effects of. No one can do that but God, the creator, and Mercury, because Mercury has its intelligence. All right. Mercury does have its intelligence, and any other spirits other than Mercury is just going to do their best. Right. It's just going to do their best, because it's not their thing. But working with the planets is very complicated. Just how to approach them, how to get their attention, for them to come down. They have a very imposing kind of energy. Yeah, but I like to stick to to stick to my personal expertise, professional expertise, what I'm an expert in, instead of delving to, even if I worked with them personally. It's just, um, I like to help people with my specialty, with what I can and know, that I've helped them with. Okay. Yes, no problem whatsoever. My students, though, are taking a test and they look me weird. I mean, there's some things, like I told you guys. I had some paperwork to submit, and I was gonna do it today, and I'm gonna do it tomorrow, just because it's Mercury's day and we're still not out of the woods. Like I told you, it's the retro shade. Okay, makes me realize what I'm not actually finished with internally. Exactly. And all those worries, like I told you, those worries, they might be founded or unfounded. But me, like I have, you know, people are generally satisfied with my work, but I do see an uptick. People are like, I'm trying this and it's not working. I'm making offerings and it's not working, and I'm not seeing results, and the results have slowed down. And I was doing better financially, and now I'm not, and I'm not able to do this. And the spirits seem to not be communicating with me, and the spirits seem to not be working. I'm like, hey, it's ongoing. It's ongoing. There are ups and downs, ebbs and flows. And unfortunately, like I told you, because they're primarily energetic beings, they have an energetic essence, they are more affected by than us. But is it because that's why I work with terrestrial entities. If you want to ask me why I work with jinns, why I stick to this, yes, I want to work with people who live with me, who know the reality of this earth. I don't want a jinn that's been 4,000 years in slumber and didn't wake up since the time of Solomon. He doesn't know what's going on nowadays. They don't even know what a TV is. The planetary talismans from the Magus. Are you familiar with them? No. No, I'm sorry. with them. I have seen some similar in the Arabic group, and they seem the similar. Even I mean, look, like there's an evolution. Okay, Solomonic stuff. They got it from a lot of this New Age stuff. It comes from the Solomonic stuff, and Solomonic stuff they got it from the Byzantine, Jewish Kabbalah, Greek magic. Like there's a lineage, and somewhere along the line there's Arabic stuff, Arabic, Islamic, Muslim, medieval Arabic. It's there. Okay, the kameyas, the planetary talismans, that's where it comes from. But we didn't invent it. That comes from India and it comes from China. Okay, so magic is all shapes, size, and colors, creeds, languages. It's all over the place. I'm sorry for the typos. Smartphone changes the words to Spanish. That's all good and dandy. So I think that's it. I think that the message came across nicely. Let me know, guys, in the comments. Even though I'm gonna end the live soon, you're always welcome to comment, share your thoughts. Show your appreciation because at the end of the day, like it's time, it's energy, and I love doing it. I love doing it. Like I told you, I could have just kept this stuff to myself, shared it with my clients. After all, they're the ones who pay me, but I decided to do it because this one has just been a struggle, you know. And I've noticed that I don't know if it's like because we're approaching the end times or the world is ending, but like these Mercury retrogrades are just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. But again, there's Saturn, there's Jupiter that are slower planets and they have a much larger orbit and they have their own movements. So these things, where does it end? Where does it begin? I don't even know. What I know is that my rock, my North Star is God. And if you make him or it your North Star, I think it will help you navigate this better, make your life easier, happier, more fulfilled. That's what has worked for me personally, you know, personally. And I'm sharing it with you. You do whatever you want with it, as you please. Right? You do you. You do you. But I'm just sharing it in the hope that it helps you. And yeah, and whoever needs to hear it. Like I told you. What is the date today? 28th. The official date ended yesterday, 3 weeks before the crash happened. Okay, big crash. They say it's the biggest. They say the biggest of the century, but there were no there were no computers before. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's the century, like the 2000s, whatever. Um, but yeah, very interesting times we live in, guys. And we'll see over the 4 weeks. You can come back to this, comment on it, see what's happening, observe, use the invocation. I was gonna share it in writing. You know what? I'm gonna leave it for the people who tuned in live. Okay, they can still see it, but I'm not gonna share it in writing. It's gonna be in the guide. You guys take care of yourselves, stay aware, stay strong, stay the course, keep moving forward. May God bless you and facilitate everything for you, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.